Welcome back with your favorite friends in the pod, Coffee and Jesus. I am TaLeisha, and this is
CJ or Courtney. That's my government name.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're so happy to have you guys here with us again. So today we're talking about what does preparation for marriage look like? And we're going to talk about some skeletons. What do you do with them? Do anything with them? Because, well, we're going to talk about it. Anywho, so what do you think preparation for marriage looks like, CJ? I mean, aren't you kind of in the stage of preparation?
Yeah.
I mean, being single?
I think I'm prepared at this point.
Oh, Lord.
I am tired of being prepared. I think I've reached my point of maximum preparation.
Only so much marrying you can do.
Preparation for marriage. What does it really look like? For one, I think it looks like assessing all of your mental baggage, first and foremost.
Yeah.
You know, do I like myself? You know, because, we are Christians, and the Bible talks about loving others as yourself. So it's like, I can't really love others if I don't first love myself. So I had to, and constantly have to assess, do I love myself at this place and this time with the things that I've been through, and how I've recovered from that? Do I love myself? And, it takes you on a journey. Like, for some people, 3 months, they're good. They've spent night and day unlocking all that trauma, and they just, all right, enough. For me, it took a little longer. It was at least 2 or 3 years, just because.
Well, you was doing good, and then you got sidetracked. That put your business out there.
Hey, if we're being honest, we're talking about what it really looks like. We can be honest here. Put it out there.
Oh, and then you got sidetracked. That's what happened. You would have been like, if you wouldn't have had that speed bump, if you will, you would have been good. Like, during that year, you would have, that would have been your year to be, break free and,
Yeah. Because I think that kind of rehashed the whole thing in me of, why did I do this again? Why did I choose to do this again? Why did I go on this path? And it's just opened up things of like, am I really healed?
Yeah.
Did I really get over this? So it really is going on a path of dealing with that. And, dealing with trauma, childhood trauma. We all have it.
Yes.
There's something. And it ain't got to be, something crazy,
Right.
But just like little minor things that help shape the person who you are. You just got to know yourself, and
that childhood trauma is not always crazy like some people think. Some people think just because, I wasn't, so that's the extreme. Some people have extremes. Do you know that childhood trauma is actually seeing a loved one in the hospital? That is childhood. People don't realize that. Children don't know how to compartmentalize what seeing someone who's healthy, not healthy. It actually weighs on a child. And it's a certain span in time when a child is developing their brain. Literally, your brain is developing as a child. And when you have things that happen to you roughly before you turn like 8 or 9, like when you're in that 6, 7 age range, things that happen in your childhood during that time sometimes shape how you are as an adult. Like,
Yeah.
Some people have childhood trauma and they don't realize it because it was normal to always have yelling in their house.
Yeah.
That's actually not a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people are, Black people don't gentle parent. I think that you have to get what works best for your house. I feel like you should not result to the mentality of beat first and then explain later. Like, your child is, what they're learning? Violence. Your child is we gonna fight first before I talk to you about anything. Or you're inadvertently teaching your child to be a people pleaser.
Yes.
Which makes them become a liar.
I struggle with people pleasing.
I think a lot of us struggle with people pleasing because we were taught to people please. But anyways, especially Black millennials, they just told us to go to college. We all went to college. We don't even know what we went for.
Student loans all over the place.
Because our Black parents could not go to college. And we thank y'all for pushing us to do it. But now that we're here, a lot of us are people pleasing. We were the first to go to school and finish in our family. It's crazy that between like 30s and 40s are really the biggest generation of people who went to college in the Black community and finished. And but we get on our job, people please. Take that day off. Take that day off from work. That I'm telling you, them people still gonna be there. Guess what? When you're not there, they're gonna find somebody to replace you for cheaper. They're glad you gone.
Yes.
That's not what we're talking about.
It's not. Okay. But then there's also the aspect of, looking at what you really want.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you've gone through the process of assessing yourself, knowing yourself, loving yourself. Okay, I'm going to put myself out there. What do I want?
Mm-hmm.
Because we get into the habit, we as me, okay, get in the habit of accepting so many different things because, they're a good person, so I'm going to accept these particular things because they are a good person.
I don't even saying that. I don't say those words. I will not, and I know I offend people when I say this because my husband says it all the time. Oh, they're such a good person. I was like, no one's good but the Father. And I don't be trying to be funny, but I'm like,
That's the word.
Decent people in this world. I am a decent person, but there is nothing good in this flesh about me. So I think though, when you like, we set people up, like you said, thinking they're a good person. And then when they are very much so human, then we get upset about it. And we said, did you set yourself up for failure with that? Or I don't know.
Yeah. And it's like that, even that alone, what you just said kind of took me on the whole journey of, you know what? You just have to accept people for who they are. They are being who they are. You cannot get upset with people for being who they are. You just have to decide that this is not what I'm going to accept and walk away. Like, we get into these blown up arguments with people.
No,
we really don't have to. Okay?
You don't have to love. You don't have to accept struggle love. You don't have to you gotta argue. No.
Just go ahead and remove yourself from the situation and keep on going. And I think when it comes to what we're talking about, what does marriage preparation for marriage really look like? I think we bring up this whole topic of skeletons because that is when you're in a relationship with people, that is something that people avoid. They do not like to talk about those things because they want to present themselves in the best light. And then, 1 year in, 2 year in, 5 years in, stuff is coming up. I mean, like, where did this come from? What has been in the back of their closet for a little while now? You just didn't know about it.
You smelt it. You smelt that dead thing, and you smelt it, and you said something don't smell right. And they told you, nah, it's okay. That's done. I'm over with that. That's over. And you was like, nah, it don't smell right. When you don't like it, you better say you don't like it.
Seriously.
I'm telling you now. You know why they say the first couple years of marriage or they say the first 2 years are the worst? It's because, you know why? A lot of people find out a whole bunch of stuff about their spouse that they should have found out when they were dating. But you, like you said, you put your best foot forward and you always trying to look cute and presentable and on your A game. No. Some of y'all need to bring them closets out.
Yes.
That closet, I'm sorry. Because some of y'all are
It's a no for me.
Because you know why? Because literally, okay, it's some things you need to deal with before you get married. Because you want to know why? You don't need to do that to your spouse. Simple as that. You don't need to treat that person like that. You got up there and said, for better for worse, to death do us part, I love you, baby, 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 baby. And then you got married to them knowing that you were no good. Yeah. You were no good. You're no good. And whatever that no good means to you. I heard somebody say this and it made so much sense to me. One of the skeletons I would say, and it may not even be a skeleton, maybe it's something that somebody's very aware of, but it's very problematic. People who are habitual daters. You want to know why that's a problem?
Say more.
For marriage. Okay. So say you're dating, and okay, you say, oh, I'm in this relationship. Okay, we're going to be monogamous. Okay, I'm just going to stay right here with you. And then you got a roster and you're talking to 3 or 4 other people. You keep them in tow when the monogamy is not giving what it's supposed to give. Like it's not giving you the attention that you want. So you keep the little fella over here on the back burner just to talk to him. Fellas, you say, oh, I'm going to choose her. I'm going to be with her. But you still sleeping with other people. You want to know why that's a problem? Because you never truly learn how to be in a committed relationship. Yeah. So then when it's time for you to get in the biggest committed relationship of your life, you don't know what to do.
Because a hard time.
It is. And getting married, just because you say some vows, just because you get up there and you have a show, just because everybody saw you do it, does not mean that your heart, that your spirit has changed to the act of fully committing. So if you're somebody who likes to date and talk to people and like to sleep around with people, like to have somebody on the side burner, then you need to get delivered first. You need to get delivered before you get married, because you want to know why? All you're going to do is get married, and then 3-4 months, 5 months, some of y'all make it 6 months, a year. And you know where you're going to be right back out. You're in church, but in DMs.
Yeah. All it took is one wrong argument.
One wrong. They weren't giving me attention. You know what? I'm going to give y'all something. I want y'all to use it now.
Yeah.
Use it. Stop thinking just because you marry your spouse automatically can read your mind. Their mind. If you're not getting the attention you want, and you know why I can say this, and I'm saying it with my whole chest, because I had to learn this for myself. I had to learn how to tell my husband, honey, I kind of want some attention. Honey, that hurt my feelings. And it's hard for me to tell somebody they hurt my feelings, because that is a weakness like none other to me. But you know what? I had to do it because I'm married. And if I want to stay married, if I want to have a happy marriage, if I want to have a marriage that flourishes, if I want to have a marriage that God is pleased with, then I need to just say those simple things. Stop playing mind games. Stop playing mind games. Some of y'all dating and doing that.
Yes.
What I like to eat at. But you never know what you want to eat at when it's time to eat. So how they gonna know? You yourself are confused. Come on.
Speak up, saints.
Yeah. Some of y'all are just hoes. Some of y'all are hoes. You hoes. You big hoes. And then you think just because you get married that's, and I hear people say it all the time. No, and guys do it because they want to move up. So they go get a wholesome girl who went out here sleeping with everybody. She's nice and wholesome, and you marry her. And then when she's not getting down like you want her to get down, maybe if you would have stopped sleeping with everybody, you can learn how to be happy with what you got. You too busy thinking about what old girl over around the way could do with the tongue and the flip and the whatever it is in your mind. Yeah. But instead of you trying to, I don't know, spice things up with your wife, you too busy on her neck talking about she don't give it to you the way you want it. Well, if you want such a hoe, then she won't have to struggle with all your goals.
Oh, wow, TaLeisha.
I'm trying to tell people on the real tonight, somebody gonna be mad at me, but guess what? Because I take marriage very seriously. Besides receiving salvation, it is one of the most serious acts to me. It is more serious than accepting the call on your life is getting married, because that is going to always be your first ministry when you get married. But people in church have taken marriage so lightly. It's like the highest divorce rate is in the church. And then how are we supposed to show people wholesome and beautiful marriages when we get married in the church and can't get married and stay married because we are not getting married for the right reasons? And then we got a whole bunch of extra baggage, but we shouting and dancing and look good in church, but we're a mess. Ooh. We go home a mess.
Oh, yes. Nothing bothers me more than a dance your problems away praise. Oh, it's so aggravating.
I hate it. Y'all ain't got no word in you. Your whole relationship with God has no substance. Mm-hmm. Popcorn relationship with God. Then try to marry under a covenant, but you can't even keep your covenant with your Savior. What are you doing? Oh, y'all have given me a headache thinking about this. Jesus.
Girl, I know that my face is like true church scrunch right now because you, girl, I mean, say what needs to be said, TaLeisha.
I've heard so much stuff over these last couple of years in this pandemic. It's almost like people's getting divorced left and right. But you want to know why? Because a lot of stuff they were getting divorced over was literally stuff that should have been dealt with when they were dating.
Yes.
If you got an ex that you still ain't over, I'm telling you now, if you can't, this is what be wrong with exes. This is what makes this wrong. Because you can be done with them. Y'all broke up. It didn't work. Y'all said this ain't gonna work. We ain't gonna get married. They could even done you dirty, dogged you out. But you want to know why? In your brain, when you going through with your spouse, in your brain, you telling yourself, well, I'm gonna go ahead and talk to my ex because you drudge up them 2 good dates y'all went on. You bring up them 2 good months y'all had out of the 5. And you know what? You psych yourself out. And then you back over there talking to them. And then when you and your spouse get back on the good foot and you was like, yo, it didn't mean anything. I didn't mean it. So, I literally had this conversation with somebody one day. I said, you and that person can't fully be happy in the marriage that you're in because you holding on to memories.
Yes.
You need new memories with the person who you with. You know what? You could be super happy with the person you're with, but you can't move on because you're hanging on to dusty memories. That's all they are, memories. Pack them up. Let them go.
And if they were so wonderful, you'd still be with that person.
You would be married to them.
Yes.
If they were wonderful, you wouldn't be married to somebody else. You would be married to them. Don't psych yourself out. When you done, and you say you're done and you done got married, that's you're finally done for real.
Yeah.
When you say, okay, you can go talk to me as much as you want to, but once you say I do to somebody else, that means I don't need to talk to you. I don't need to be talking to you. I don't need to be in this conversation with you. That's what you need to do. When you turn on the I do, it needs to become everything else needs to be I don't.
That's good.
Yeah.
TaLeisha done hurt y'all feelings today, but I'm gonna help you.
Go ahead and rub them over. Rub their back, child. Rub their back.
Listen, in all these things that TaLeisha has said, okay, this leads me to you have to ask the right questions.
That's true. That's true, friend.
All this can be solved if you ask the right questions. But the problem with asking the right questions is we also have to know when to ask these questions.
That's true.
Because I was watching a singles, everybody church doing a whole relationship series now. So I was watching somebody's church relationship series, and they were asking about, should we ask about body count and credit score on the first date? Absolutely not. You don't even know them.
What's their last?
Like, you asking the wrong things, okay? Like that's not the time, okay? The first date?
No.
But there is a time and a place to ask these questions that you need to know if the relationship is moving forward and it's serious enough, and y'all are like, okay, we're gonna be boyfriend and girlfriend. We're not just dating anymore. Right. This is about to be a serious thing. Start asking some questions.
If y'all are serious, you need to ask serious questions.
Period.
That's true, friend.
I hate people say that, but I'm saying it now. Period. Like there are certain level of questions you need to ask in the first couple of dates to even see if the relationship is worth it.
Right.
Okay. If they ain't worth it, done. But if they move on to the next level and y'all serious, here's the questions you need to ask.
Literally like playing the game. Level up.
Right. Like, seriously, TaLeisha, I'm gonna ask you, what questions did you ask Dexter? I can't even say that man's name. While y'all were in a relationship that helped to qualify him or disqualify him.
Yeah.
In the process.
Well, see, it was some certain questions, like, and I watch behavior because sometimes some guys know the game, especially if they're older. They 30, 35, 36. They know how to manipulate.
Finesse.
They know questions. They know what sound good, and okay. Yep, that sounds really good. If it all sounds too good, it's too good to be true. Somebody lying, and I don't like it. So but yeah, we were talking though. We were just. It's been so long ago now. We've been together almost 6 years. I'm about to forget. But we were talking, and it was certain things like he never talked to me about anything sexual. And that was a good sign.
Yes.
Like if your first few conversations, you saying something to me and it's a sexual innuendo, if it's about my body, if it was about anything about my appearance, other than, oh, you look nice. If it's anything more than that, I didn't like it. I don't like that, because then that leads me to believe, and I get it, that you should have some, we're going to talk about this when we talk about our sex podcast. You should have some sexual attraction to the person. Granted, but that does not need to be in your conversation if y'all supposed to be walking in the light in y'all conversation. That's way down the road.
Yes.
And then to like the conversation about their future, like, okay, they're talking about something, or especially if he's already of age, like if you trying to talk to somebody and you younger 20s, okay, he's talking about, okay, I'm in college, I have a plan on where I want to, when I get finished with school, where I'm going to work. He's doing internships. He's doing these types of things. Okay, that's good. That's what you're looking for in your early 20s. He's 27, 28, and he's started his career. He's just started it. But if he is like 35 and he's like, I'm just starting my career, he better be a doctor. I'm just saying. Because if you're 35 and granted, 35, you should have a stable job. I'll say that. Now, your career choice might be in a field that it may be very hard in that field, but I feel this is I feel like now for the people of God, God has accelerated things for us in this season. If we're tapping into him, he has fast forward the years for us while the world is in turmoil. The people of God, the last should be first and the first should be last. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyways, so I feel like, his conversation about those things, where he's going, what his future is, and those are first conversations. Not too heavy, finding out like what his hobbies are. What is he doing? What are you doing? Okay. Sounds good. Hobbies. How does he like to spend time with his family? Does he like spending time with his family? If that's something, the things that once you find out what you like about yourself, and then once you find out what you want to see in somebody else, those are the things that you should be asking them. Like if you have a family or you want somebody who's connected with their family, that should be something you are either looking for, like, is he talking to his family? Or if you're talking to your family, you can bring up the conversation. Oh, I was just talking to my mom. Yeah. So do you know how close are you with your mom or your dad or your family? After 5 or 10 dates, I feel like that's okay to figure out if they're close with their family. What do you like to do? Do you like to travel? Because if you're somebody who likes to travel and then you're being with, like, I'm talking to somebody who's a homebody, sometimes that may bring friction. Y'all can't go nowhere. Yeah. You don't want to go anywhere. So, and what do they do at church? Now, I'm going to say this. I do not like this. When you ask a man, filling out, I'll put it this way. If his first words to you, I'm elder so-and-so, I'm minister so-and-so. Boo, tomato. Like, we care. I said, what's your name? I just asked you what your name was. But I also believe in doing a little background research on people first.
Yes.
To kind of figure out how people talk about them. And, because I sure asked about my husband. I was like, oh, who is that? Okay. He goes to the church? Okay. What's he do? Single? Oh, okay. At the time he was in a relationship. So I was like, okay, cool. Going about my business. But in just asking about him, people, they opened up and talked about him, about, how he was as a person, and okay, cool. It's good to hear that. So I believe in, doing a little background research. It doesn't hurt, because you have to have the right ammunition, or rather the right bait to catch. So can't go in with worms if the fish likes chum, because you in the wrong pond, baby.
Amen.
So I feel like that's part of preparation too.
Yeah.
Knowing the playing field where you're at.
Even asking their opinions on certain subjects, like, what's your opinion on finance, budgeting, these types of things. Like, what is your opinion on children? What is your opinion on this or that and the third? We if you want to include politics in that, knock yourself right out.
You knocked out in the process.
These days, some you might want to.
Yeah.
But it's just like, we really have to ask people questions that kind of lead to deeper conversation. Like, are you self-aware? Because a lot of people are not self-aware.
No.
Emotionally intelligent, and people love to say things like, oh, I know, I'm a good listener. Like, communication is so important, and sure, absolutely. But that whole, piece on comprehension is another level to it that you gotta have. And if you can be a great listener all day long, and communicate out the woodwork, but if it's not translating,
just sit there saying, yeah,
not gonna work, like, and then like TaLeisha was just saying, like, you really have to look at actions, because a lot of people say so many good things, like just left and right, just wonderful things. And like you said, they know exactly what to say, because if they've been dating for a while, especially now we're in our 30s and whatnot, you know what to say. You know what sounds good, especially in the Christian community. Oh, we know what sounds good.
Oh, yeah. We're the best actors. I don't know why more of us aren't in the acting field. We are good at it. We are good actors.
Oh, girl. But, it's just your actions will prove you every time.
Every time.
That's like someone saying, oh, I love the Lord, and blah, 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 blah. Like TaLeisha said, they end up, being whores. That is not a reflection of what's coming out of your mouth. What you say and what you do has to line up. And that in itself will let you know what you got in your hands.
Yep.
So as a female, or they don't like us saying females. Sorry, children of God. Women.
Well, they say women, not all women are females. And I'm like, what? Anyway.
Some girl said it was sexist, and I was like,
yeah, that's not the hill I'm trying to die on today. I could
absolutely not. I don't know where y'all get that from. But as a woman, TaLeisha, what do you think you went through to prepare for marriage?
Well, you know what? I felt like it was like I was set aside, and I didn't realize I was being set aside. God had set me aside, and I had to get some mental things together. Because you have to know your worth. And then I think once you realize what God has called you to be, what God says about you, what God thinks about you, how God loves you, then that, I think, is one of the biggest things in walking into your virtuosity as a woman. Yeah. And then that is what a husband is looking for, a virtuous woman. So cooking, cleaning, and all that other domestic stuff, I feel like you can learn those things, but you cannot learn how to be a woman of prayer if that's not something you're constantly staying in that vein of. Yeah. Because you know why? A husband, especially if your husband, not saying, because some of us women are going to be the one that God calls to do the preaching. But if you are trying to be behind a man, just in general, beside him, and why I say behind, because some people say, oh, I'm walking beside. But when you are behind, you got his back straight up. And you are praying for him and with him, because that is something, and like I say, it depends on what your husband is going to be walking in. But when your husband is someone who preaches, he is studying God's word to be giving to the sheep. You have to be the one that's on the battlefront praying for your home. Yeah. So there is peace in your house, so that the attack of the enemy is not in your house. So, yeah. And that's why your husband has to be, somebody who is the priest of the house.
Yeah. Now, we're not saying all y'all gotta date preachers now. Okay.
No, not at all. But he
could just be, just a regular guy going to work.
Exactly.
Job is stressful,
the house.
Yeah, that's it. It's so many things. And I like what you said just now, because a lot of times when people think about preparing for marriage, they go to the superficial things, work out and, journal and, meditate, and all these things. Get away from here.
Your spirit is tore up.
Yeah.
Your velocity is not there yet.
Working out, being in the gym 7 days a week is not gonna touch that inner man.
Not at all. Your outer man is gonna look good.
And that's great.
God is judging the heart.
That's it. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's it. And I think also with men, I think, men have to prepare for marriage as well. And if you're not ready to be a covering of someone else, I'm not talking about you can go to church and holler and squall and have the people jumping up and down. I'm talking about if you cannot cover someone else in prayer, in word, and you don't even have to be deep in the word like that. But if you can't sit down with your wife and read a scripture and y'all cannot interpret it together, sir. Now, I'm going to tell you, some of you are not going to be that yet. Your wife is going to probably, if that's not you, you better pray your wife is. Because if she not done, you not there, both y'all shout. Get out of here. You shouldn't be married.
I need him to be, he need to have something. He need to have something on the inside because.
Exactly. And not looking good in church. Y'all go and get a beard and get that doggone black jet spray around in front of your head and wear some glasses. And you got the thick beard that smell like shea moisture. And you done bought your Sauvage cologne. I think y'all just got on your suit, got a little vest with it. Think you ready to get married.
Mm-hmm. Submit, woman.
But you can't submit to God.
No,
you're not even loyal to relationships with God. How many times I gotta keep telling y'all this? Submit to Him. Submit it. That's what men need to learn how to do. If you'll hear it on one of our podcasts, one of our dear friends who is a male said this. He said, if you are a man and have not submitted to God, you shouldn't be ready for a woman to submit to you. And that is the word. Like, if you cannot submit to God, if you cannot cover that woman in prayer, you cannot cover her in word. She got prayer, you got word, y'all come together. It's the dynamic duo. But y'all coming together and y'all look good, and neither one of y'all got anything going on. She can't pray, you can't read a scripture right, and you reading out of the NIV, the baby version. And y'all struggling. And then y'all wonder why y'all can't stay married. Because y'all thought that y'all was going to look good and shout all y'all problems away. And you have nothing to work with.
Oh.
You have nothing to fight with. And I'm telling you, the devil doesn't want anybody to be married because it's a covenant with you, another person, and God. The Bible talks about a 2-strand cord, but then what does it say about a 3? Y'all don't know because y'all don't read your word. But anyway, so I'm just saying,
yeah,
the devil does not want you to be married. So he's going to do everything possible to stop you from preparing to get married and then stop you from getting married. But then that's why when you take your relationship with God seriously, then I think that He will do the ultimate finishing touches on you to prepare you truly for marriage.
Yeah.
There are things that you can do to help get yourself there, to show God, here am I, ready to do this. And then do a search me, Lord, if you will. Search me, Lord. And then do it. And then He'll get you ready, Yeah.
Because it just comes to a point where it's just like, okay, I've went through this process enough. Like, I have torn myself apart and put myself back together again with the Lord's help. Like, at some point, enough. Like, don't overanalyze yourself so much. And that's one of the things that my godmother talks to me about all the time. Like, Courtney, you are so aware that it's almost paralyzing sometimes. You come out of there, keep it light. She keeps telling me to keep it light because I go off on the weekend. Okay. But I think even in that regard, it's important to have other men or women around you, like my godmother, like TaLeisha is for me, who are people who are married, who have already gone through that process and who know what, marriage looks like on the other side, like what that thing looks like on the other side, like, and who can help to shape you and guide you and be like, TaLeisha, quick, CJ, enough. Let that go. That ain't it.
You need to go somewhere and sit and be cute. That is where you are. You need to be found. That's it.
Yeah. And meanwhile, godmama over there just she just gets down into the root of things in the inside. I just be like, sis, why you do me like this?
Talking with the Lord for real. Whew. You're nervous.
Seriously.
Don't see me. No.
She sees you. But that's the thing, like, it's important to have other people around you. We talk about accountability in other podcast episodes, but it's so important, and people really like take that for granted. Like, accountability is so important. It's not just enough to have friends around you and say, hey, I'm going through this process, hold me accountable. That's cute.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go to a deeper level than that. Like, you got to really get with people who are intentional about your relationship with them, who can be intentional about holding you accountable to certain things. And they ain't got to hold you accountable to everything. But if, so-and-so over there is good with money, let them hold you accountable to that. That aspect of your life. If somebody else over here is has been married for 50 years and they got the most beautiful marriage you've ever seen, let them hold you accountable to that when you're in a relationship with somebody, like, and if we are, as Christians, trying to have godly relationships, then we need people around us holding us accountable to make sure that we uphold the standard of a godly relationship. Like, when it comes to dating and not falling into temptation, because, we hope that, like TaLeisha said earlier, there is attraction and that you love, the person that you are spending your time with, but you have to even be held accountable in that, so I think, we really have to get rid of the superficial things, though they are nice. We want to be fit. What Kevin Samuel said, fit,
friendly,
fit, feminine, and friendly. We want those things, but
that'll get you the boyfriend. But the virtuous woman is going to keep the husband. So that'll get you married, but you want to stay married.
Yes.
So my Pastor Quincy actually just said that preaching yesterday. He was like, the swag, sir, will get you the wife, is going to get you married, but being a godly husband and being a priest of your household is going to keep you married. Fit, feminine, and friendly is going to get you married, but being a virtuous woman is going to keep you married. So you can do those superficial things to get the attention, but at the end of the day, it's going to be God, the godly things, the biblical, that will keep you married in the time of storm. Fit, feminine, friendly, cute, but that is not going to help you fight the devil. So,
ooh, that's good. I loved it.
Man, we like a wrecking ball. Jeez Louise, look at all this damage. No, we had a really quick discussion that was really deep, really fast. But I really feel like we hit a lot of great points. And I know, it's a lot of people who watch us that are dating, they're in relationships, and then some of them are single and looking. So I hope this was something that can help you along your way,
Yeah.
I want to see the people prosper in every aspect of their life, that they want to prosper. And if you want to be married, be prosperous in your marriage. You want to be single, that's fine too, but be prosperous in your being single. Like, your life should be for God. You should be flourishing for him in that singleness. The Bible says that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, even that is a slippery slope.
Slippery.
Because, the ways of the single are unto the Lord. But then when you get in a relationship and you just, you be like, but I want my ways to be unto him right now, Lord. But that's not your husband yet.
That's not husband. And a lot of people do that. They think that dating is, it's not, it's a, I wouldn't say dating or being in a relationship. I think when you are in the part where you're engaged is the more so time that you maybe reflect more of the qualities of getting married. But at the end of the day, you're not a wife until you're a wife. You're not a husband until you are a husband. And believe me, when the time comes, you've been dating for 2 years, what are 2 years in reflection to you trying to be somebody for life? Don't rush that little time you got by yourself. And when you're dating, don't rush it. Because you're going to be married and then you'll be like, oh, man, I can't do this. I can't do that. Now I'm married, blah, 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 whatever. But you have to enjoy where you are when you're there. I'll say that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that is the end of the episode.
Yeah. Tell the people where they can find us.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, here on YouTube, and on IG at Coffee and Jesus Pod. Please let us know what you think about this conversation. What does preparation for marriage really look like to you? You know, don't give us the superficial fluff. Give us the real stuff.
We like the meat and potatoes over here.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can get that fluff stuff from all them other podcasts.
And they giving it. Okay? But we love you guys. Thank you so much for being our listeners and supporting the pod. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not subscribed already. And we love you.